Hi, Miss Lava. Thank you for
Hi.
agreeing to do this interview. Let's start with the interview. You can start by introducing yourself first before we go on to the questions.
My name is Lavanita. The reason we're sitting here doing this today is because I own a brand called Sage Way of Living. This is an organic brand which makes handmade products for the face, body, as well as hair. But we mainly focus on the skin, which is the face as well as the body. It's all completely formulated in house. Each and every product has been researched for a while and it has been tested and tried out for over a period of months, some even a year or so. Only after that do we release the products into the market. Our products mainly work on any type of skin, any age, and it is unisexual. That's pretty much the gist of what we are going to talk about today.
Great, thank you for the intro. So let's go on to the questions. The questions are separated into three sections. First, let's talk about the business. So how did the name Sage Skin and Hair Essentials originate?
Sage Skin and Hair Essentials. When we were thinking about the name, we had quite a few things in mind, but we wanted something that was very just raw, basic, short, simple, easy to remember, but yet it had to be meaningful and it had to give depth to what we believed in. As soon as you think of sage, you think about the plant. So sage is a cleansing herb which has been in our tradition for a very long time. As Indians and also people abroad now, especially in the US, they all are burning sage in their houses and they use it for cleansing, for bringing in positive energy, and just to take off any sort of disturbance or anything negative around their surrounding, their house or wherever. Also, sage has been consumed internally by many people for ages now in drinks, in soups, in medication. Sage is a herb that helps to cleanse and also has a lot of healing and medicinal properties. Of course, there are a lot of people who can't take it. A lot of people are allergic to it, but if you use it in the right amount of way, because it is a very strong herb, so if you use it in the right amount, it is a very, very, very powerful herb. And also another meaning for sage is old, where you call like old priests or Zen like people who are also something like or people who follow the path of Buddhism or people who follow the path of meditation and just live up in the hills. They're called sages as well. In India we call them rishis, but the English term for it is sage. That is also one of the reasons, because we wanted to bring in our roots, to bring in traditional way of taking care of yourself, your skin, and just using very simple and beautiful pure products to make yourself feel good and pampered. So that's how sage came in.
So thoughtful of naming it Sage. Who are the people behind the brand?
The reason we started Sage was because after I gave birth to my daughter, she's 3 now. So initially there were a lot of issues with her skin because she was very sensitive, and anything and everything we applied wasn't really that great on her skin. Something or the other was going wrong. Being parents, we are very particular and we want to give our child the best, and then we end up spending a lot of money on products that they say it's organic and it's in now and everybody's using it, and you end up spending like hundreds and hundreds of ringgit on bottles of these lotions and cleansers and stuff. Then just thinking about it, we realized that when we used to do her massages on a very regular basis, like every other week, we used to do her body massages. We used just basic gingerly oil or castor oil or coconut oil also, in fact, or almond oil, and her skin was okay. It never had a negative reaction. And then it came to me like, okay, if we are using something so simple and it doesn't affect her, then why are we going and splurging money on things like this that we so call is good for the child's skin and all of that? I thought, okay, why not just try something on my own? So and then I started doing a few recipes here and there and trying out a few things, making small tins of butters and doing test batches and seeing if it works. And fortunately it ended up working. It was really good on her. Then we just continued it, and then I started thinking after a while, like there must be so many parents who are working and who are busy, who don't really have the time to sit and think about all this. All they do is just go to the shelf at a pharmacy or a supermarket and pick up the best thing that they think is good for their child, and they just walk out. That's all. That's how it is. That's how life is today. There are other people who just can't afford these organic products because they're so expensive. I thought, why not try to bring in something and make it affordable, but at the same time give them like really good quality products that everybody can use and everybody can afford and buy and use. I approached my sister-in-law. She is very good with things when it comes to formulation and all, because she's somebody who's really into skincare and she does a lot of research, very up to date, and who's into this whole process of really good skincare basically. So I went up to her and I told her this is what it is, and she said, yeah, definitely she'll help me out, because I had the thought, I had the idea idea and I already knew what I wanted to do, but you need somebody who really knows their way around it, right? The technical aspect of it when it comes to formulation and stuff, of course, my experience was absolutely nil. It was me and Charu. Her name is Charumati. We started this together and we started doing trials and started making up products. And then, yeah, we settled into a few that we liked and that worked.
You mentioned that you started making things 3 years back. So when did you start operating as a business? When did you start selling it to customers?
We started operations April 2020. So the thing is, we had a lot of research going on. And of course, we couldn't just launch the products into the market because we were very, very new into this. And this was the first time we are both stepping into a business of such a risky business to take, because this is not something that you just look at and buy and just walk out, sell and walk out. It's not like that. It's not a piece of clothing or jewelry, it's something that you're putting on your skin and you're taking a lot of risk. There was a process of 6 to 8 months that we had to go through to figure out what we had to do exactly and what to launch and what to still keep under research. And then we finally released it.
What are some of the core values that you believe in when you curate the product?
Okay, definitely quality. That is definitely the first thing, because for me personally, when you promise somebody something to do with skin, whether it's outside or inside, whatever you're taking to do with your body, it is a very big promise that you make to your customers. It's not a joke. We can't play around with things like that. And especially when you say that this can be used by kids, that is an even bigger risk. So definitely, hands down, quality is very, very important. And that's one of the reasons we took it very slow and we did all the research possible and we tried out different batches and, a lot of things happened. Quality definitely comes first, and also affordable premium quality products. That was the main thing, because everybody can go and pick up say 150 ringgit bottle off the shelf. But how many people can afford it on a basis of say 15-20 days? It's not possible for everybody to afford that. We wanted to bring in things that were really good quality, but we cut down our profit to the most minimal amount. So obviously we are not running a charity. We thought that our way of giving back to people, to the society, or whatever it is, we wanted to just keep the profit very minimal. And the second thing was that we are trying to make Sage a sustainable brand. Of course, it is not at all an easy thing to do, because everything and anything in today's world involves plastic. Especially good quality stuff is definitely not plastic that is recycled, and it is plastic that is going to take forever to degrade. We chose glass instead of plastic. All our containers, all our packaging is glass and aluminium. And also we use recycled paper for our packaging. We try to use recycled cardboard boxes for our packaging. Sometimes we just wrap. We don't even use the boxes if it's unnecessary. We stop using cellophane tape as well. We use thread substitutes instead of anything that can reduce even a little bit of carbon. Even our stickers, we are getting most of our stickers that are used with paper that has already been recycled.
Right, it's good to know. The reason I actually started researching on this topic is also due to the concern of plastic. Because when it comes to sustainability, people talk about fashion, people talk about how people waste food. They don't go about beauty industry. Beauty industry actually wastes so much of plastic.
So much of plastic.
Yeah, especially with all this Korean skincare trend, this 10-step routine and everything. Makes me wonder, do we actually need this much of product? Do we actually use this much? And what if we don't use it? All ends up going for waste. And post-pandemic, people are just obsessed with beauty. And whenever new things come, people just buy and buy and buy. So it all adds up. So yeah, that's the reason why I actually chose this brand and chose this topic to research on. It's good to hear that you are on that path towards achieving.
It's not easy. It's definitely not easy, because one things that are sustainable are very expensive. The point that comes in is affordability. I don't think any normal person would want to choose plastic over wood, over glass, or anything that is sustainable. Everybody wants to do their bit. Definitely it will take time, but if everybody at least consciously does a few things in their daily routine, I'm sure we can go a very long way.
True. What are some of the difficulties that you faced in the process of establishing the business?
Establishment wise, I don't know if you know this, but I am born Malaysian, because my mom's Malaysian, but my father's Indian. So I was brought up in India. I've been in India all my life. I only moved here about 4 or 5 years ago. So one, I can't really speak Bahasa very well. I can understand it. So that was definitely one challenge for me, because even my sister-in-law is from Chennai. Even though she's been living here a little longer than me, even she can't really speak Bahasa that well. So when you don't speak the language, it becomes a little difficult when you have to communicate in these government offices where you get your SSM registered and you have these processes to fulfill a certain criteria when you're opening up something, right? Yeah, so that was one difficulty. And of course, getting the right and trustworthy vendors or wholesalers where we purchase our raw materials from. So that was also a challenge for us, because we needed to spend a lot of money initially to figure out which raw material we are going to use for our brand.
For now, you are the only person behind the brand. Is it like creating the product, curating it, experimenting? Are you the only person
Yes.
who?
Yes, right now, yes, because actually, my partner, like, she had gone on a break because she got pregnant just a few months after we launched. She needed to take a break and she needed to take care of herself and her health, and just knowing that and understanding that. And of course, it was a little difficult because with the lockdown on and off, and things like that, and the travel was an issue because she lives in Klang and I live in KL, and workshop was based out of KL from my house. For her, it was an issue to get transportation also on a regular basis. So she just took a break for a while. So as of now, it's just been me who's been doing pretty much everything: the marketing, the production, the accounting, the logistics, and pretty much everything. Yeah.
Who is the target market for Sage Skin and Hair Essential? Whom do you target?
Definitely, I would say that the majority are women, middle-aged women, of course, a little older women as well. So 30 plus, 35 plus onwards, to say about 60, 65. That is my major clientele, major customer base. Of course, there are young girls, there are a lot of men as well, but majority is the middle-aged to the older women.
All right, we spoke about the business. Now we will move forward with the products. Okay, what was the first product that you created and when was it created?
The first product that I created was the mango vanilla body butter. That was the first product that we created because that was what I wanted to try on my daughter, actually. So the one that I had done for her when I was just like, playing around and doing things at home was pretty much the same formulation. The only thing I added in was lavender and vitamin E. So that was all I did. We can't launch something like that in the market because this was for personal use and I just didn't want anything for my child. But when we were launching, we were really debating, and then we were thinking about how a lot of countries launch scents or flavors or essential oil based on the climate of their country or based on what is available there and what people really like. See, as an Asian, of course, you're accustomed to tropical fruits, especially in Malaysia being hot countries in equatorial region. We are accustomed to tropical fruits and, a lot of citrus fruits and a lot of summer fruits, basically. Of course, there are mangoes and, tangerines and oranges, and that is what we wanted to focus on. We didn't really want to get into the whole antioxidant berry side of it, because that was the thing a while back, the whole blueberry, strawberry, raspberry thing into the skin. We just wanted to stick to where we belong. Like I said, sustainability also comes down to this at the end of the day, where we consume things that are produced in our locality, in our region. We don't just buy things because somebody else outside our country is promoting it, because that is definitely not going to be available here as fresh produce. You're going to get it frozen. So we wanted things that people can relate to. So we thought, okay, why not try a fruit that is very, very loved in the country here? So we thought, okay, mango. So, and mango, children also love the smell because the mango butter was mainly made for kids, but of course, adults also ended up using it. That was the first product that we made, and it was a super hit. Just that till now, that is my most pocket pinching product because I didn't really make the product very high, but the cost for me to make that is extremely high. So my profit, the least amount of profit that I get is that product.
So you started from body butter. So eventually, what was the subsequent product?
So after the body butter, it went on to lip butter. And then of course, it went on to the rose face mist that we sell, which is one of my best selling products, the rose face mist as well as the glow face serum. Then it went on to the mist. Then it went on to a face mask that we have. Then of course came in the glow face serum. That was also something that we launched only after a few months. It didn't happen initially because when I started off, I wanted it to be completely just, pampering and nourishing and moisturizing and, completely just make yourself feel really good and make your skin all happy. That is all I wanted. But then later I realized that the market is such that even if you're selling products like this and they're happy with it, the market being the market, they want also products that are treatment products, but at the end of the day, it's organic. So it's doing its job, but it's also not really only for pampering and for like just for healthy skin. It's also to make their skin better than what it is, or more polished than what it is. There was a lot of debate that went on actually, because initially I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do that, but it's okay because we didn't really end up going into a water-based serum. We ended up doing the oil-based serum, which is technically nothing but how we used to do, the face pulling massages and our traditional body massages that we've been doing for generations and ages now. Kind of comes down to that kind of content. Then it went on the serum, and then slowly, yeah, the cleanser came in, and then moisturizer came in, and yeah, things like that. So now we have the whole face care set.
What are some of the difficulties that you face in the process of actually formulating the product? Because you are not a trained chemist or somewhere in the science field. What were the difficulties that you faced in terms of stabilizing the formula, creating the formula, ensuring that it is safe to put on the skin? How was the testing process like?
This is when Charu came into the picture, because she was the one who was very good with things like this, because she had done a course actually a few years ago. So she knew about formulating, she knew about how you formulate products for different types of skin, and how you formulate, how do you call it? Because there are ingredients that you put into a same product, but they are contradicting at certain points. So you just need to know how to balance it correctly. If not, it all goes into havoc, and then you'll get yourself into trouble for selling things like that. So if you don't have proper knowledge and you haven't done your research, it becomes very difficult. So Charu did that part of it, and then of course she ended up teaching me, and then we took online classes as well. We did a lot of things like that, and then it came down to just getting it right at the end of the day. See, for me, this is what I felt as a personal experience. Formulation for me was very, very, very similar to cooking, and I'm somebody who's been cooking for years now, and I love cooking. I have never followed a recipe to the T. Anytime somebody asks me a recipe, I'll say just put a little bit of that and a little bit of this. I'm like that because my cooking is very instinctive. I know what I'm doing, and I know exactly what is going to come out at the end of it. I know what is the end product. But of course, formulation, you can't play around, because it's not for self-use, it's you're selling. This is a business. We did a lot of trials and testing and stuff like that, and then it worked out at the end of the day. So that's just how it is.
So you make your products in small batches. Is the current batch similar to the previous batch? Do you make changes in between batches, or is it the same?
Definitely there will be changes. It's humanly impossible to get it 100% right as the previous batch, but we do have our formulation. So we do measure according to our cups and our jars, and we use pretty much the same containers and the same kind of timing, temperature, and everything every single time we make a batch. So it's the same. There's no change in that. It is 90% to 95% the same, yes, but it's not possible unless you do it in a factory with machines. And also it depends on the raw materials that we get, because even the raw materials that we get is not going to be 100% the same quality. I wouldn't say it's a major difference, definitely not, but when you do make handmade products, this is how it is.
So when it comes to natural products, it typically has a very short lifespan when compared to drugstore products. Do you think this is a challenge for Sage products in terms of marketing the product to people?
Okay, so in terms of marketing, of course, people who do approach us definitely know that it is organic. So 90% of my customers are already very well aware of the fact that these products are organic. And the remaining customers who come to us, we explain to them about how it works and what organic products are exactly. So we give them a gist of what it is and how it is. When a customer is approaching us for an organic product, most of them already know that the shelf life is short. Either they have to preserve the product in a refrigerator, or they have to use it within a certain amount of time. Organic products most of the time don't have preservatives in them. So my body butters, my lip butter, my serum, my mist, my mask, all of these don't have preservatives in them. The only two products that I had preservatives in are my cleanser and my moisturizer, face moisturizer, because these are also kind of treatment products. So when you make a treatment product, you need to have some kind of preservative in them, because we mix up oil and water. These have oil. There are two phases when you make. Actually, there are three phases when you make a product formulated. One is the oil base, one is the water base, and then there's a cool down phase. When you're mixing oil and a water based product, you definitely have to add a preservative. Otherwise, it's going to get fungal and it's going to just spoil. The preservative that we use also is a plant based, very mild preservative that everybody in the organic line use generally. It's called liquid germol. So this is the only preservative that we have brought into Sage. We haven't used any other preservative. There are a lot of other organic preservatives as well, but they are not as mild. They're a little more stronger. So we are just sticking to this as of now, and that is one of the reasons we don't have products that say we do skin brightening, skin lightening. We don't believe in that. We want you to all have a healthy skin and to just make sure that your skin looks its best, because of all the food that we're eating now, the pollution outside and all the rubbish that's going in and out of our systems. We are just trying to make our skin be as beautiful as it has been when we were younger and all these years. That's all we're trying to do. The challenge part is making the products, because I make every product every month. As soon as I make a bulk of my product, say I make about 30 to 50 bottles, as soon as it's finishing off, by the next month coming in, I already have to make a new batch. So that is where the challenge kicks in. But I have no other choice but to do it this way, because if I don't do it that way, then my customers are not going to get that high quality, and they're not going to get that potency, that is there in the initial stage of the product. As it keeps going, it keeps wearing off.
What would you consider the strength of Sage products, Sage as a brand?
The strength, I think, it's that the product speaks for itself. People who are skeptical of the product try out the product, and then they come back to me and say, oh, good that I did, because I'm really happy with it. Touchwood, till now I've never really got a negative criticism about anything, except for the fact that some people have been allergic to certain essential oils, and they were not aware that I had that in my product, because usually all my essential oils are there on the label, and I mention it in all the descriptions that I put on my advertisements. So they've overlooked, and then they've realized that they're not okay with that, so their skin has reacted in a certain way. But luckily it was nothing major. It was just small rashes and things like that, or breakouts. That is on a personal note, because a lot of people are allergic to a lot of things. So we need to be careful about what we apply on our skin as well. We need to do the research before putting something. But apart from that, no, touchwood, it has always been good and it's always been positive.
What would you consider the weakness of the products or as a brand?
The weakness would be that if I was from, say, a background that where I was a formulator, or if I were to be a chemist, or if I had the background, then yes, my confidence when it came to making more products, or taking more risks would be higher. Just taking that greater risk in terms of stepping into a business. It's not that you can't make it even if you're not from the field. Of course you can, because it's all about interest and passion and dedication at the end of the day. But yes, that would have been a plus point.
In your opinion, how do you think the COVID-19 pandemic has changed people's demand towards natural products? Because initially, before the pandemic, we were not really paying much attention into all these things. And post-pandemic, people are very conscious about their health, very conscious about what they eat, what they put on their skin, about the environment. So in your opinion, how do you think the pandemic has changed the whole scenario for the demand of natural products?
It's definitely changed a lot. I mean, even personally for me, it's changed a lot. I feel like people already at the back of their minds had this going on. It wasn't that they were not aware of it. They definitely knew that they were not really taking much attention, or giving it a lot of thought. And also it's like you take things for granted, right? You take your body for granted, you take your skin for granted, you take your everything, your car, your belongings, your family, everything we do end up taking for granted. That's just how humans are. So the pandemic really was like a slap on the face, saying, what, just stop. Hello, think about what you're doing. So it was like, putting your brakes on everything and just stopping for a second and taking a look around and realizing that this is what we're doing. We're literally abusing ourselves in the process of just running the race. We are abusing ourselves internally and externally. It has become more about health rather than beauty now, I believe, which it should be. It should have been from the beginning. It should be that way, So it's good that people are taking more interest in organic products. It's good that people are trying to read what is there behind on a bottle before they buy something, because most of the time they see an ad, they see a promotion, they see someone see a celebrity promoting something, they want it, and that's just how the market works, and they target us like that. And we've all been sacrificial lambs to that. We've all been in that. So just look at the bottle and understanding what you're doing, what you're putting on yourself is a big thing for me. I think that's a very big win for the organic industry.
Do you offer custom made products? Do you offer products that you make just just specifically upon request?
Yes, we do. That is also one of the reasons why our customers have always stayed and they keep coming back to us, because when there are so many brands who are focusing on prosperity, profit, focusing on just moving faster and higher up the ladder, we were the ones who were kind of like in the market, who were there, and we were kind of confused and we were taking it very slow because we wanted to get it right. We didn't want to rush into anything and make a mistake and then just ruin everything. When it came to that, a lot of customers have told me, you know what, we've asked around so many people, but none of them want to do a customized products because they say that they are booked or they have a lot going on. Even though we had a lot going on, we did take out the time to spend a few extra hours to make things for these people, because these were not really out of the box requests. It was just genuine requests for people who had sensitive skin, and most of it was for babies and for kids. So there was definitely no point of saying no, because then there wouldn't be a point of even starting the brand, and running the brand. This was the point of it, right? So we have made a lot of customized lotions and a lot of customized butters according to different skin types, for different kids, for different adults, for older people, for people with issues on their skin, for people who are allergic to certain type of essential oils, and for people who wanted only certain type of essential oils because that worked for them for certain reasons. Or if it was somebody who says, I'm going to rub a certain type of essential on my skin because it helps also ease my nerves and calm down my muscle aches and things like that.
Okay, we spoke about the business, we spoke about the products. Now let's talk about the sustainability element of the business. Why did you opt for eco-friendly packaging for the products despite it being the expensive choice when it comes to packaging?
Okay, like I said, there were two main reasons for starting up the brand. One was to give affordable premium organic products available for everybody. That was the first thing. And the second thing, like I said, the sustainability part, which I personally was very, very particular about. Because for me, whatever I do, anything I do, and the lockdown obviously taught me a lot. It taught me a lot, and I had so much time on my hands that I tried so many things that I always wanted to try. I was using soap nuts to wash my clothes. I used to pre-soak them and make the soap nut liquid, especially for my daughter's clothes. And it was amazing. Yes, it was time consuming. And yes, it was a tedious process, but was it worth it? Absolutely, yes. Because when you think about how much you're doing, it makes you feel amazing. It makes you feel like, you've achieved something that is impossible. Because think about that one less batch of detergent water that's not running into the oceans. Think about that one less sink full of vessels that you've cleaned up just using the soap nut liquid, and you're saving that is so much. And you know what, when you use organic products, you save a lot of water. But these kind of chemical detergents, the artificial chemical detergents, consume a lot of water as well. So there are a lot of things like this that we did, and it taught us a lot, right? So for me personally, sustainability was the most important thing. Of course, quality, but then after that, it was sustainability. Because in the long run, we are okay. I'm not going to really say it, but hopefully, touch wood, few years down the line, when we do open up a physical store, we are going to bring in the concept of bringing back bottles, or bring your own bottles for that matter. I don't mind. Because I have done that personally. I am still doing it for certain things, but for certain things, it's just not feasible because there's a lot going on. I know it's an excuse, but it's just, life catches up. So I have gone to places where I've taken my own bottles and I've gone and bought detergents that are organic, that are very subtle. I wouldn't say it's 100% like soap nuts, which is completely chemical free. Definitely not, but it is something that is better than what we get in the market. And then I've also, like, there are small things that we can do every day. Like they say turn off the tap while brushing your teeth, and things like that. Take a bucket bath rather than take a shower bath or a tub bath or whatever. So these small things I've always practiced. Coming from India, from an Indian community, Indian background, Indian housing, we do follow these things not only because we think it's a sustainability and it's cool and it's the in thing to do. No, it's not that. It's just the way we were brought up. If I leave the water running, I probably get one whack at the back of my head. That's just how it was.
Yeah, it's just our culture.
It's our culture. So
Yeah.
sustainability runs in us. It is just a part of us. And I wanted to bring this in. So definitely reusing glass bottles, reusing all your containers. Do not keep buying new containers and then just throwing them. Please wash your bottles of detergent. If you can't get the organic stuff, it's okay. At least wash the bottles before you dispose them. Segregate your waste. So these are all small things that I practice. Yes, it is time consuming, but it becomes a habit. After a point, it just becomes a part of your life. That's where I want Sage to be. When Sage becomes a big brand, I want people to know that this is about sustainability as much as it is about quality.
What are some of the challenges faced by Sage Skin and Hair Essentials when it comes to communicating about natural products to Malaysians, to the Malaysian market?
Okay, Malaysian market, we initially when I was launching, I thought it's going to be difficult because as far as what I have seen, there are a lot of people who are focused more on beauty here. It's not a bad thing, but it is like that. They are very particular about looking aesthetically pleasing all the time, whether it is body, face, or hair, or skin, or whatever it is. They are like that, and that is what I have seen. The lockdown was one of maybe the pandemic was one of the reasons. I don't know. I really don't know, but the way I have been welcomed with Sage was very astonishing to me initially, because so many people are more concerned about the health of their skin rather than the beauty side of it. And they have understood. Maybe that's why I think I have a lot of customers who come from that age group. Maybe they've done their trial and test period and they have come to the point where they've realized that this is what it is at the end of the day. This is the only thing that's going to keep you feel young and feel beautiful and just feel healthy. That's it.
In your opinion, how is the response towards natural and eco-friendly skincare products? Are you satisfied in general with the response that you receive from
No,
the
I think
Malaysian market?
it could be more. It definitely
Okay.
could be more. It definitely could be more, because I still feel like there are a lot of people who don't even know what organic products are. A lot of people uh, have this mind block that organic products are expensive. A lot of people do not want to buy organic products that are home based. And a lot of people don't want small vendors who are small business operators. They don't want that because they are scared, and rightly so. I don't blame them. So but it definitely can be widened. The market needs to widen, the market needs to grow. People need to understand that this is the only way to go at the end of it, because this will sustain, this will keep them going for the long run. None of these artificially curated stuff is going to help in the long run. It might now for a while, and trust me, I have had personal expenses in my house, experiences in my house, where we've realized that this is the only way to go about.
Okay, from your personal point of view, do you think sustainability issues can be better communicated to people?
Sustainability issues.
Yes, like how people perceive about sustainability, about all this going zero waste and all that. From a personal point of view, how do you think it can be better communicated to the people in general?
Okay, one, I really think this should be a part of our curriculums when we're studying. I'm talking school level, not even talking like higher level. I'm talking basic school level. Even young children should know that there are things like not to throw things, not to loiter around, not to litter around, not to, like waste water, waste food, or anything of that sort. Like this has to start from home. This has to start from the age of like 4, 5, like where they have started experimenting around their surroundings. It should start there already. Don't use a lot of tissue. Don't try to carry a hanky around. This is small things you teach your kids. One is that, definitely, because if that happens, it's not difficult to change once you're all grown up. It's already done. Major part of it is done. Secondly, I feel like majority of the advertising that takes place where people are consuming things now, I think in Malaysia TikTok is very happening, right? And also the Instagram reels and stuff. I might be wrong, I don't know, but as far as what I have seen, the celebrities and the famous what do you
Influences.
call it, social media
Yeah.
faces are mostly promoting brands like health supplements or things that are beauty related, cosmetic line related, things like that, weight losing product. Then what else? You have your whitening products, you have your teeth whitening products. So I find these very amusing. Honestly speaking, I feel like laughing when I look at this, because you have so much of power in your hands. You have so much of responsibility as influencers, where you can genuinely market for people who are doing everything that they can, working so hard to to give the world, good products, to give people good products. So you need to be marketing those, you need to be selling those. But instead, I know everybody needs money and everybody needs to make a living, but I feel like they should be a little responsible and a little more thoughtful about what they're doing. Because if these people can actually advertise the right way, then the concept of organic products, organic living, sustainable living, conscious living, everything will start coming into picture. Even if it's a trend, it will start coming in. Yeah.
I totally agree with you. All that, like you said earlier, people are only looking forward to looking aesthetically pleasing. They don't go deeper. So yeah, from a business point of view, how do you think it can be communicated better as a business owner?
I feel like I could definitely do more. I don't do enough, and I know that. As you know, I am a teacher. So my day job is a teacher. I'm a kindergarten teacher. I'm a mother. And as usual, I have a million other things that I do as a woman at home, the cleaning, the cooking, the laundry, the shopping, everything that's done. To give 100% to a business in spite of doing all of this is quite difficult. And for me, this line is like my baby. So I'm just nurturing it and doing the best that I can, taking it very slow. But whatever I do, I'm giving it my all. So in terms of advertising, in terms of me as a business woman promoting sustainability or promoting organic products, no, I don't think I've done that. Maybe it'll take a little longer, but I will slowly get there. But definitely I know I can do more.
The price of skincare products that are naturally derived are typically on the pricier side as compared to drugstore brands, drugstore products. Yes. Are Malaysians willing to pay extra knowing that the products that they use are clean and sustainable?
Yes. Definitely. There are a lot of women, a lot of people, a lot of men. They're very particular right now on what they apply on their skin in terms of things that are stay on. Okay, see, there are two types of products. There are leave on products and there are wash off products, right? So when you're using a cleanser or a body wash, you shouldn't really think that much. It's okay. If you're going to use a bar of soap that you just want to try, it's okay because you're not letting that seep into your skin. It's about 5 minutes of applying and then you're washing off. Probably even if it's full of fragrance and it's full of artificial fragrance, it's still okay. Even though I wouldn't recommend it, but it's not going to affect you the way you will get affected if you put on a serum or a moisturizer or a body lotion or anything of that sort that you leave on and the entire day, entire night. Even your sunblock, you should be very careful because it can affect your skin, it can affect your health. So these kind of products, I definitely think people are conscious about, but they could be more conscious about, but they are. Right now, Malaysians, yes, they are very conscious, and I don't think they would mind paying 20-30 bucks extra to get that good product.
Okay, Sage skincare products, it comes in recyclable packaging that can be used again and repurposed. They can fill up their own skincare products in it. Besides that, are you currently offering trade-in services where customers can drop off their old packaging and trade in for new packaging?
Yes, we do. And some people have done it. Of course, a lot of people wouldn't because it is a hassle and I don't have a store. If I had a store, then it would be easier for them to just come there, drop it off and pick it up and go one shot. But there are people who have done it. And yes, we do offer the services of refilling your bottles or sending in your own bottles that you already have existing for me to put in a product for you. Yes, we do.
In your own words, how can people be more mindful of the choices they make when they purchase natural and eco-friendly skincare?
How to be more mindful? Definitely ask the seller what you are buying, what goes into the products. Find out if you're allergic to anything that is in the product. Find out what kind of essential oils suit you, what don't suit you. Don't just buy a product because it smells fancy or looks fancy. Don't buy products because your favorite actress is putting it on. Don't do things like that. Make sure that you know what you're doing. When you're eating, you're conscious about what you're putting in, right? You just don't go eat all the junk that's available. So just like that, you have to be mindful about what you apply on your skin as well, because that is also a living part of your body, which is very important. And it's the largest organ of your body. So you have to take care of it. There's no choice. And if you don't love yourself and you don't love your body and you don't take care of your body, it's not going to give you that back in return. Please, yes, people really need to be mindful about what they put on, especially the leave-on products.
So we have come to the last question. Okay. What is the future direction of Sage Skin and Hair Essentials? Where do you see the brand going forward in like 3 years' time, in 5 years' time? What do you aspire the brand to become?
Definitely, my long-term plan is to open up a store, and that is going to, wait, darling, 1 second. That is going to be a permanent solution. A permanent situation where I'm going to have a store. The thing is, I have a little bit of a problem when it comes to venturing out. because I'm so particular about filling each and every product, wiping each and every bottle, and closing each and every cap and labeling it. I don't let anybody do it. And one person doing it is very difficult. So I think I need to come to the point where I have to let go a little bit and trust other people a little bit. So that's going to take some time. But as of now, I'm enjoying doing this. I'm enjoying doing it all by myself because it gives me immense satisfaction. But yes, definitely there are plans of opening up a store, and there are plans of mass production, and there are plans of launching products from Sage in India and Singapore.
Thank you so much for your time. It has been such an insightful session. More than just answering the questions, you also shared your experience, your feedback, and regarding your research that you have done, the process of developing the product and developing the brand and establishing a business in general. So thank you so much for your time. It has been really helpful for me in the process of writing my capstone project. Thank you.
I'm so glad that this was of use to you. And also by doing this, I feel like I have a lot to think about after this, because your questions have put a lot of thoughts in my head as well. And it's given me a lot of, what do you call it? Like enthusiasm to go forward and do more and, like think about the brand more. So thank you as well, Nandini. It was amazing talking to you.